This is Middle Class Matt from don'tbuythehype.blogspot.com, and I am Sports Genius. Now, I am a big Panther fan, and I always review Panther games. While I do lots of NFL videos and college football videos too, I only concentrate mainly on one pro team, one college team, and those are my two teams. Carolina Panthers, and in college, the UNC Tar Heels. The Panthers have been so bad, and I saw it coming, that I've been talking probably the first half of the season about how bad they are. But it just got to be boring. And after this blowout game against the Denver Broncos, in which they lost 36-14, it's just become stale talking about how bad they are. Same way with the Tar Heels, who are losing. So I've had to come up with kind of some new ideas and new things to talk about. And after this game, I didn't put out a video directly. I usually put one out the day of. But the Panthers just fired Brian Murphy, their special teams coach. Now, a lot of people will be like, well, the offense is kind of the problem. They only scored 14 points. The defense didn't play well, but they've been playing well. So, like, why they fired the special teams coach? They talked about, I read an article and talked about how they gave up a long punt and they struggled, but mainly what this is a move of desperation. Rivera is trying to keep his job, and he's trying to do everything he can. He was hired by Marty Hurney, so Marty Hurney was his boss. Marty Hurney no longer works for the Panthers. So with that said, he really doesn't have any safety net, any protection. Usually an NFL coach gets 3 to 4 years. That's kind of the way it works. Now it's becoming increasingly lower, sometimes a year or two, and people are fired. But most of the time you get 3 or 4 years to install your system. Rivera doesn't seem, because of the changes going on with the Panthers, to have that much time. So he has to make some moves. Now, they've done some things already. The defense has stepped up and played better. Many of my past Panther videos have been about how well the Panthers defense played. Now, they didn't play well this time, and they were at home, but against Peyton Manning. And Peyton Manning is just, he's a sheriff. The guy is just a machine out there. And the way he makes an offense function is really a thing of beauty. It's why some people think, even though he only has one Super Bowl, he might be the best quarterback ever. Because he's just a pinpoint accurate surgeon at the quarterback position. It's incredible. And so you give the Panthers a little break about that on defense. But offensively, they've struggled all year. And most of that I blamed on Cam Newton. I've talked about Cam Newton. I didn't like it when they drafted him. I've always been low on Cam Newton, and now we're seeing why. They've gone back to a more, a simpler system for Cam. And Cam's done better in it. What he did this last game is about as good as Cam's going to do. He threw for 241 yards. He had 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Now, one of those interceptions was brutal. He's being sacked, and he's falling forward, and he throws. That's a ball you got to throw away or just take the sack. You cannot try to make a play when someone's got hold of your legs and are pulling you down. But this is the kind of poor decision-making Cam has made consistently as the Panthers quarterback. But Cam's not going to play much better than what he's played. 2 touchdowns, 240 yards, that's about as good as it gets. But the Panthers couldn't run the ball. And that's the real big problem on offense, is that no, Cam's not going to be Tom Brady. No, he's not going to be Aaron Rodgers. He's not going to be that. He may never be that, but he's especially not going to be that this year. But they have to be able to run the ball. And they ran the ball for 52 yards. That's going to lose every game. Every game the Panthers play, they're going to lose. So they are in desperate mode right now. They are just trying to find ways to win ball games because they're 2-7. They're one of the worst teams in the NFL, and I predicted them to go like 8-8 when their schedule came out. You can go back and look at that video, see that they're not even going to go 8-8, obviously. That was even, most people were picking them to be a playoff team. Some people were saying a Super Bowl team. That was a little high. I picked a little high. So I picked them lower than what the experts were saying, and they've underachieved under that. That's why Rivera's job is being threatened, because they've underachieved even after what an 8-8 season would not have been made too many Panther fans or anyone in the organization very happy, and they're not even going to do that. They'll be lucky to go 6-10 like they did last year. So it's going to be it's going to be tough to see what they pull out and what they try to do it's going to be tough for them, and they're going to have to really pull some things out of their hat because they're, like I said, in deep trouble. The coaching staff, that is. And so they're going to have to really figure out some ways to win some games. The Panthers' schedule, though, I picked them 8-8 because their schedule is so difficult, and the NFC's a beast, and that their conference they're in is a beast too. The NFC South, a beast, very hard to win games, and so it's they've had everything kind of against them, and then on top of that, they've underproduced. So that is a recipe for disaster. Anyway, we'll see what the Panthers do, see if they can be creative. I think they're going to get a few more wins and maybe get up to that 6-10 mark, but we'll see. This is Middle Class Matt, and I'll check you next time.